you switch between British and American cooking shows, you're not just changing channels, you're stepping into entirely different worlds. One whispers encouragement, while the other yells challenges.
Ah! I've just done them with you!
One celebrates competence.
This is really ambitious.
Oh, they're delicious.
It does taste like Christmas.
While the other demands spectacular drama.
Next.
Yes, chef.
Then you check in with your garnish.
These aren't just stylistic choices, they're cultural expressions that reveal how two nations differ when it comes to cooking television. Take one look at the Great British Baking Show 10 and you immediately sense something different about British television. The setting itself tells the story. A literal white canvas tent in the beautiful British countryside, complete with bunting, flowers, and looking more like a village fete than a television studio. This isn't accidental. The producers deliberately chose a space that feels domestic and welcoming rather than industrial and intimidating. The format follows this gentle philosophy very religiously. Contestants aren't eliminated with dramatic fanfare. They simply leave the tent with hugs and genuine sadness from their fellow bakers. And there aren't that many twists designed to create chaos. Instead, there are 3 predictable challenges each week. A signature bake that shows personality, a technical challenge that tests skill, and a showstopper that allows creativity. What's remarkable is how this predictability becomes comforting rather than boring. Viewers know exactly what to expect, and that reliability becomes part of the appeal. Research shows that Bake Off viewers actually have lower stress hormone levels during and after watching compared to competitive American formats. Now switch to an American cooking show and oh my gosh, it's a completely different universe. The kitchens themselves show you the change already. They're stark, they're industrial spaces typically with dramatic lighting, multiple camera angles, and countdown clocks designed to induce panic. This is television meets a gladiator arena meets cooking. Cooking is like a high-stakes sport, essentially. Hell's Kitchen exemplifies the American approach perfectly. The very name suggests violence, and the format delivers. Gordon Ramsay's American persona is significantly more aggressive than his British version. He shouts, he throws food, he delivers insults designed for maximum television impact. Contestants face not just cooking challenges, but psychological warfare, with elimination ceremonies that feel more like executions than departures. The pacing also differs dramatically from British shows. American cooking competitions pack multiple challenges, eliminations, and dramatic revelations into each episode. There's rarely a quiet moment, and where there is, it's usually the manufactured calm before the storm. Shows like Top Chef and MasterChef maintain constant pressure through tight deadlines, surprise twists, and very harsh verdicts. Prize structures also reveal completely different cultural values. British contestants compete for relatively modest prizes, sometimes just the honor of winning. American shows know that no one's going to show up for that, so they have to offer life-changing sums. $250,000, a restaurant partnership, and a cookbook deal, television contract, and the list goes on. The show literally promises transformation through the competition, reflecting American beliefs about meritocracy and success. The elimination format shows this even more clearly. American contestants will face elimination challenges where bottom performers must cook for their lives or face being sent home. The language is deliberately militaristic. It creates this manufactured drama through this artificial time pressure. It's why Americans watch. Focus groups reveal that American viewers expect more drama, higher prizes, and clearer winners and losers. Now, the contrast in hosting styles also reveals differences between these two countries. British hosts practice what you might call gentle authority. They're clearly in charge, but they exercise that power with restraint and humor. Often they'll create an atmosphere where the contestants feel supported rather than scrutinized by them, the hosts. American hosts operate more as amplifiers of the emotion. They're trained to heighten whatever drama is happening, celebrating victories with over-the-top enthusiasm and treating failures as something spectacularly disappointing. Linguistic analysis shows that Gordon Ramsay on his shows uses over 300 100% more aggressive language per episode in an American show. And now let's talk about the judges, because once it gets to the judges, things differ as well. British judges on cooking shows often function more as expert mentors who happen to have to make a really difficult decision. They taste thoughtfully, they discuss technical aspects, and even when delivering bad news, they try and maintain a tone of regret rather than satisfaction. American judges often play up their authority, delivering verdicts with dramatic pauses and language designed for television impact rather than genuine feedback. And now let's talk about the contestant stories. American cooking shows love backstories. Contestants aren't just people who enjoy cooking. They're single mothers working 3 jobs, immigrants pursuing the American dream, or former military personnel seeking new careers. The show presents cooking success as potential redemption in their lives. British shows take a bit of a different approach. Contestants are introduced through things like their day jobs and their hobbies, but it's often about those things rather than hardships. We might learn that someone is a postman who enjoys genealogy, or a teacher who restores vintage cars. Their cooking abilities are presented as extensions of their general competence rather than desperate attempts at life change. This creates different viewing experiences. American shows encourage emotional investment in individual stories. You root for specific contestants because you connect with their struggles. British shows create investment in the group dynamic. You enjoy watching the entire cast support each other through challenges. And now let's talk about the editing, because American shows isolate contestants for dramatic interviews about their fears, hopes, and strategies. British shows more often show contestants interacting naturally, creating what feels more like documentary footage rather than reality TV. And again, when it comes to the production values, British cooking shows favor natural lighting, simple camera work, and settings that, as I mentioned earlier, feel more domestic rather than theatrical. The famous Bake Off tent looks like an actual place where real people might bake, complete with slightly wonky tables and mismatched chairs. American productions go so far in the other direction. Multiple camera angles capture every moment, dramatic music swells during reveals, and the sets are designed for television, not for cooking comfort. Even the food photography differs. British shows present bakes simply, often with judges taking genuine bites, but American shows create elaborate food glamour shots with perfect lighting and styling. Now, these format differences reflect deeper cultural values between the countries when it comes to competition and entertainment. British television operates under a public service tradition that asks whether programming serves the common good. This creates shows that do tend to prioritize viewer well-being and education alongside the entertainment. American television, we're all for profit. It's all about commercial entertainment, creating programming that maximizes attention and emotional engagement. It's not necessarily bad. It produces incredibly compelling television that millions of people love, but it shapes every aspect of production, from the pacing to the prize structures. And the most interesting failures happen when formats try and move to incompatible cultures. American producers struggled to recreate British gentleness because it felt artificial within American television conventions, though a lot of Americans do love British Bake Off as a way to sort of calm down and regulate their own emotions. And British producers on the other side of the pond have had mixed success with high-stakes American formats because British audiences typically find excessive drama off-putting rather than engaging. Now, if you're a fan of cooking shows on either side of the pond, I would love to hear your comments down below. Which ones do you watch? Do you go for the calmer British style, or do you go for the more intense American ones where Gordon Ramsay's definitely throwing a coconut down the hallway at someone? Thanks as always for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.